Hey there, all you good people. Joe from Joe's Computer Museum here. I think it's time we gave you a complete tour of my museum. Let's check it out. Now, as you can probably tell, the museum is set up in the basement of my home. Nothing too fancy down here, just cinder block walls, but at least the ceiling's finished, the floor's finished. I have a basic computer workstation over here that I use for just whatever. It's a Windows PC. Got a server and file server and all that. I have a workstation here that you can use for hooking up the old computers. I got Mac adapter, all that jazz. Over here is where I put my Apple II GS. I stick it right here. It's my right-hand man. I use that guy for lots of different things. Most of my Apple II projects are run through that. This is my workbench. This is where I take computers apart, fix them, put them back together. You may have seen a couple of my reviews right there on that bench, mostly because the light's fairly good there. I got a light there and over there. Over in this corner, I have to stand back a little bit. In this corner is my Apple II shrine. I've got the Apple IIc Plus, a Platinum, a regular Apple II, another Apple II up there that's kind of broken right now. All the bits, bobs, pieces and stuff. There's even a Laser 128 up there just to the right of the light if you can see it. Over here is my generic 8-bit section. On the left there is a Commodore 64. No, that is not the original monitor. That is just some television. It's a piece of poop. This is what you can, hard for you to tell here, but that is the Atari 800 XL. Of course, you can see I keep things under old t-shirts and stuff to try to protect them from both UV light and to protect them from dust because I hate dust. Over here is where I keep all of the classic compact Macs. You can kind of see them living under t-shirts there. There we are, Mac Pluses and all that stuff. Here's where the more modern Macs go, with one minor exception. You've got the iMac there. You've got some PowerPC Macs and stuff. There's the Performer 410 down there I fixed, extra keyboards, blah, 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 blah. And over on this rack, I've got my old PCs, or PC-compatible machines, starting there in the lower left with an original IBM 5150, and going up through mostly IBMs. Those are 4 of the 6 of those are actual IBM units. Up there's just some storage space for bits, bobs, cables, connectors, extra mice, the occasional Matchbox car that I found somewhere and stuck in the box there. Franklin. Right here's the K-Pro, and there's the Frankenstein computers I use just for preservation, whatever those might be for. And right here is what I call my repair queue. I shove computers there that I need to be repaired. That is a 640 CD and a 630 CD, one of which has the PC option on it. This is my complete collection, or near complete collection, of Byte magazines from about 1981 up through like 93 or 4. You can go on my museum site and take a look at it. It shows you the entire range, but I keep these over here in the corner because this is really the only place I have any space for them. Now I want to show you some of the tools that I use to repair and preserve my old computers. So here we got an electric screwdriver, electric drill, pretty standard stuff. Rechargeable battery pack, nice long Phillips head bit so that it's easy to get down into the computer cases and get things out of there. Magnetized, of course, just keep it away from your discs and you're perfectly fine there. Has adjustable torque setting on it too so that I do not end up over torquing and breaking things. Pretty cool. Next is a simple adjustable razor blade with the break-offable little bits on it. Keeps it always sharp. You never know when you're going to have to cut, score, mark, do something like that. Simple pencil, very useful. The eraser is usually the most useful part of that. You can use that to clean contacts on memory, any gold edge fingers. Helping hands, you guys have probably seen these things before. You can clip and hold things, magnify things. It acts as a third or fourth hand for you while you're soldering and doing repairs on little boards and things. Good set of small side snips shears for doing low-level board work. Wire wrap wire, 30 gauge. This is good for doing rework. Get close in there so you can see it. Good for doing board rework if you happen to lift a pad, scratch a trace, and need to rerun something. Solder wick and solder so that you can do board level repairs. Soldering iron, I have this cheap little crappy plug-in thing. It works for me just fine. A soldering station, a good, adjustable soldering station works a lot better. Cotton swabs are good for things. Tiny adjustable screwdriver set with tons and tons and tons and tons of bits. You never know what you might need to get into, small tiny stuff. Side cuts, tweezers for holding tiny capacitors and components, very important. A manual long screwdriver, even longer than this one, for getting into really hard to get into stuff. Don't use this much, that's a coaxial cable terminator. Use these guys all the time. Huge set of side snips, cuts, pliers, all of that stuff. The right angle ones right here, I can get those out and show you two. The right angle ones get a lot of work in my repair jobs because they allow me to get way down into things in corners and stuff where it's hard to normally get into stuff. Standard set of small Phillips and flathead screwdrivers in there. Also doubly important, or equally as important, Torx drivers. Multimeter, very important for testing voltages, testing continuity, checking battery, stuff like that. I have one. I don't know how to use it correctly other than to check voltage and check continuity. Hot glue gun, because I break crap all the time and I'm always needing to stick to things. Floral wire. Yeah, you use that when you screwed something up and need to connect something back together. You can theoretically use it as rework wire. I wouldn't suggest it. Electrical tape. Vinyl electrical tape. Super stretchy. Generally waterproof when you're working on outdoor applications. Well, that's the Dime Tour. I really hope you enjoyed it. Now, remember to check out my website, anondas.net/museum, to see the online version of all of this stuff behind me. And because there's always really cool updates going on there, and I tend to update that a little bit more than the YouTube videos. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and remember, 8 bits are all you need.